Hey, what's up, guys? So, we're getting down to it. There's about 2 weeks left until pitchers and catchers report for spring training. And as we, from what we know right now, it looks like the MLB season is going to start on time. Spring training and the regular season being April 1st for the Yankees, and right around that week for everybody else. But there's still some holes that need to be filled. There's also a roster spot that needs to be cleared for the Yankees to make room for Darren O'Day, their most recent acquisition, who's replacing Ottovino at about 20% or 25% of the cost. So that was a genius move by Brian Cashman. But there's still issues, and particularly starting pitching depth. And even though we've brought in 2 starters, or Cashman's brought in 2 starters, there's still a lot of question marks in terms of health and reliability and durability. And there's still a hole, I think, that needs to be filled in the bullpen. And then, I'm not as concerned about a left-handed bat as much as some others might be concerned. We've got some prospect depth that can probably, at this point, be capable of enough of doing what needs to be done. But keep in mind, too, the Greg Allen, the guy that they traded for recently, he's a switch hitter. Okay, so he's got versatility, so allows the Yankees to kind of customize the lineup a little bit, whether it's a heavily, a left-handed pitching rotation or right-handed pitching rotations. We have a little bit more versatility. We've got a couple of switch hitters now, so we do have that. But would I be upset if they brought back Brett Gardner? No. I don't want it to take away from Clint Frazier's playing time, and that's my biggest concern there. And what's the point of trading for Greg Allen if you're not going to utilize him? He's 8 years younger than Gardner, and he's got switch hitting versatility. He's got speed. He's a lighter hitting outfielder, but we don't need another big time hitter. But I still get the logic for a left-handed bat to kind of balance the lineup out a little bit more. The problem is there's not many out there in free agency right now that can be had. Most of the big guys that were good fits, in my opinion, are gone now. LaStella and some of these other guys. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. But I want to go over 3 trades that I think the Yankees can make to address needs and stay under the $210 million threshold. Okay, at this point, they're about $9 million under the threshold right now, so not much room. They could save that money for an August deadline trade, but we'll see. But here are 3 trades that I think they can make. Number 1, sending Mike Tauchman and Miguel Andujar, over to the Miami Marlins for Pablo Lopez. Now, Pablo Lopez is a young, controllable starter. He's 24 years old, and he's got about 4 or 5 years of team control. And Miami Marlins have stockpiled pitching draft picks, and international prospects and pitching draft prospects, so they can afford to move a starter like this and bring in plenty in his place to address positional need. Mike Tauchman, for instance, has 4 years of team control. He's not 3 years. Excuse me. He's not a free agent until 2024. He's also very versatile in the outfield. Has a very good defensive bat. Has shown he can hit. He's a good left-handed bat. And he's also one that works the counts, and I think the Marlins could use more people like that. Someone that has the ability to get on base or drive in runs and also save runs in the outfield. And Miguel Andujar offers, we know he can hit already, and he's shown to be healthy again, and he has the ability to play multiple positions, which gives the Marlins versatility. And he's not a free agent until 2024 as well. So they would be getting 2 controllable players at a low price, which is right up the Marlins' alley, in exchange for a starting pitcher. And it might cost another prospect, if it does, but it gives the Yankees a controllable starting pitcher as well, who can slot in as more of a reliable person who can actually throw innings. As we speak right now, Corey Kluber and Jameson Taillon are still question marks in terms of how durable they're going to be, because of the injury risk that they've had over the last few years. And Taillon's coming off his second Tommy John surgery. Jordan Montgomery's 2 years removed from Tommy John. Luis Severino is coming off Tommy John. So I still think another starter who can give us some more insurance would be a really good idea. So that's my trade number 1. Number 2, Mike Tauchman or Miguel Andujar plus Luis Gil, one of their top pitching prospects, starting pitching prospects, to the Cincinnati Reds. Not for Luis Castillo, but for Amir Garrett, one of their top relievers, who has 3 years of control, is not a free agent until 2024. He's obviously not going to fetch as much of a package in return as Luis Castillo would. But that said, they're getting positional versatility here and a top pitching prospect in exchange for a reliever with team control. Power arm, who fits right into the Yankees mantra, and the Yankees need another arm. So I think this would be a good trade. I think it'd be a relatively balanced trade as well. Again, two guys with significant control for a relief pitcher. That's a pretty good deal. It might cost a fringe prospect, fine, but I wouldn't drastically overpay for a relief pitcher at this point when they have a pretty significant bullpen already. So to me, that's a good trade as well. And last but not least, my third trade, Miguel Andujar. This is a big one. This is a blockbuster with the Colorado Rockies. Okay, Miguel Andujar, Davy Garcia, and Luis Gil, Mike Ford, and prospect Alex Vizcaino to the Colorado Rockies for left-handed starter Kyle Freeland, who's a reliable left-handed starter who can, again, slot in as a reliable innings leader. He's not a free agent until 2024 at a low cost, just like Amir Garrett, just like Pablo Lopez. And, okay, so it'll be for Kyle Freeland and former Red Sox power arm Daniel Bard. He's been out for a while, okay, but he's back. He's established his power arm again, and he also has team control until 2023. So, and combined, they add up to about $9 million, okay? And with the salaries that they would be sending back, it would more than offset a couple of $1 million. So, and the Rockies would be getting, especially now that they've that dud of a trade for Nolan Arenado, this gives them a lot of, stockpiling prospects in return. So offensive and pitching. Again, they would get Miguel Andujar, 3 years of control. Davy Garcia with 5 years of control. It would suck to give him up, but we'd be getting, as of this point right now, he's maybe a number 5 on the Yankees. Okay, whereas somebody like Kyle Freeland, who's also a left-handed starter, since we only have Jordan Montgomery and everybody else is righty, this gives us a little bit of a lefty-righty balanced here too. He's also young. He's only 27 years old. Okay. We'd be giving up Garcia, Luis Gil, top pitching prospect, Mike Ford, who kind of doesn't really have a position right now at the Yankees, okay? With Luke Voigt and some of these back, he just doesn't have a position, unfortunately. And neither does Miguel Andujar, so this will give them an opportunity to go to Colorado, and I think with their good bats, Mike Ford could be hitting bombs, and Miguel Andujar could be getting doubles and bombs, and they'd be getting some pitching capital in return. They would get 3 pitchers and 2 position players for a starter and a reliever. This would be a pretty good trade, and I think the Colorado Rockies would be well off to consider that. So those are the 3 trades I think that the Yankees could pull off. Obviously one of the 3, but they would either address starting pitching or relief pitching or both. So let me know what you think of that. Leave some comments, down below. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I appreciate everybody's support. I'm trying to get to that 2,000 subscriber mark, and your help is greatly appreciated. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Make sure you don't miss it. I've got a lot more content coming out. And right before the season starts, I'm going to go over my outlooks for each division. So I'll go to the East, the West, and Central in both leagues once free agency is mostly completed. There's still a lot of guys that are yet to sign, so I want to make sure teams have an opportunity to bring in the guys that they want to bring in before I start the outlooks. It's only fair to do it that way. So keep an eye out for that, as well as a bunch of other videos. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next time.